turning point?
No, I think you learn as you go here, and this is a brand new experience for all of us coming off last season, and it takes a while to get adjusted. We've always been looking for that emotion. We play a hard game, we play a physical game, and you need a place to find that energy. And what I'm most pleased with wasn't the connection of those two games. It was the back-to-back night against Pittsburgh. And hey, fellas, what? Hey guys, you want to do this interview over here? Or what? You guys good? All right. So the energy on the bench from the players on back-to-back nights was the thing that I was most excited about. And Spencer Knight made a great save just before a TV timeout. We had 4 guys jump off the bench, go down and tap. So we were wired it into the game. And we've had some stretches. Maybe we haven't had that kind of energy. I'll give them credit. They've worked hard for it. They've tried to find it. We haven't been casual this year, and we certainly haven't been resting on last year. But that's what our challenge is. I think we've been pretty darn good against those elite teams that come in that that you got to be wired to play against. But the Pittsburgh game, Pittsburgh's fighting for their playoff lives, and they probably got more Stanley Cups in their room than we do. So I was really happy with that game.
Coach, when you're
good.
When you're going to challenge goaltender interference,
Yeah.
what goes into that? I mean, Benner says he has a checklist.
Yeah, I do too. The first is there's like 4 layers to this. The first is going to be our Robbie Tallis, who's our goalie coach, is on the headset for that reason. So he looks at it from the goalie's point of view. Then it goes through our video guy. Does the video show it? Because sometimes you just can't see enough on the video to make the decision. Comes to me, and the first one is a gut feel. Do I think that's goalie interference? And the last one is all context. In what I've seen recently, I will think about things differently in the regular season than I will in the playoffs. I also will take care of my goaltenders in that if Sergei's sour about it, I'm probably calling it regardless of whether I think he's right or wrong. But when you get into the playoffs, that's not true. I'll look at it and think, am I getting this call or am I not? And then I'll make that decision.
Speaking of goaltending, you have 2 very productive, very offensive teams. Do you see this maybe turning into a goaltender battle?
God, we hope not, but possibly, probably. Right at the end of the day, that's how it's decided. We have some really good offensive players and we can score goals, but it's really not how we're built or how we play. We were a very strong defensive team last year. We tied Winnipeg with the fewest goals against, and that's really how we're built. We haven't quite gotten to that, but whether you believe analytics or not, our defensive numbers are really, really good. We've just been behind it a little bunch, and we've had some bigger goals against Knights than we're normally used to. But I'm not down on. We're integrating, 5 or 6 new guys, and I think that's still part of our challenge. But it's getting better.
Any updates on Nico and Aaron?
Yeah, Nico, they're both of them. We don't think this is long term. I don't think Nico plays tonight. We'll make a decision on Aaron based on when he gets off the ice here, and we'll talk to the medical people, and they'll give us a heads up. So if not, Tobias is up, and he's the last game he played for us played a hell of a game. I think it was in New York. So we'll be all right.
You're obviously big comfortable with him both on and off the ice, considering he's with you guys most of last year.
Yeah, when you're bringing a guy up, there won't be the nerves. He's played a year in the NHL. This isn't his first tour. He's going in against a pretty good team for your call-up for the year, but those are the games that you have an opportunity to impress the most. I mean, he's going to play against world-class players here tonight. We've got kind of 3 guys, 3 younger-ish in terms of, with us, defensemen that we're putting in. So we got 4 of them potentially in tonight, and competition's on because both those big boys are coming back at some point. Yeah, Sergei plays tonight, yeah.
What are some points of emphasis for your penalty kill opposite the Avs power play specifically?
Well, I don't even sit in the penalty killing meetings. So last year around November, 2 years ago, our penalty killing struggle, it was the place that we had to improve. So we brought in a bunch of penalty killers and didn't get off to a very good start. So around the middle of November, I stopped going to the meetings and it took off. So I don't go back to that. I think we're the net #1 penalty killing team in the league because we've scored so many goals on it. So, yeah, they don't tell me.
When you have like Schmidt, who's I think coming up on 700 a day, is that a big number?
Yeah, for sure. Like, we all do. We're all fans. At least I still am, right? So I know McKinnon. All right, I know all the big names, and all those guys play an awful lot of games, right? There's these guys where they all play. The vast majority of these guys never do, right? I don't know what the number is. You could look it up, but I wonder what the average number of games in NHL. It's probably around 300 or so. It used to be about 350. So we almost get desensitized to how big a deal it is to hit those big numbers. You get over 500 games in the NHL. That's a career. So at 700. I'm not sure if he's going to stick around long enough to get to 1,000, but he'd probably like to, and the way he's playing, we'd probably like him to do that.
You talked about this being a dangerous team too, and call-ups. The Avs have cycled through a couple guys themselves too. Does that go into your conversation when you prep for a game like this?
Well, both teams have a style and a game, and there's always themes that you're working on. We got 4 or 5 things that we think are really important to us every night, so we're just going to keep hammering on that. But we want to make sure when we have new people come in that we put them in the best possible position that we can to look good, feel good. That usually means stand a little closer to them, close support, so we can move the puck a little cleaner, and lots of communication, lots of talk. So between the coaches and the players on the bench, we ask them to make sure we're connecting with those new guys coming in and talking to them as much as we can. So whoever Tobias plays with today, Sylvain Lefebvre will get to the other partner and say, make sure you stay connected with them, and Sly will be on the bench. And so there's a lot of communication that goes with it just to make them feel comfortable, but also I think that kind of makes them feel not alone. When the new guys come in, sometimes they feel they don't really know everybody in the room and they're not around here all the time. So we just want to make sure that they have lots of voices.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.